And we know the gradient is 3. So we go y equals 3x plus b. We know positive point to negative 5. That stands for x and stands for y. So all we have to do is substitute the x and y into the equation, and we get once we found m, found b, then we can write down the equation of the 9 is 3x minus 11. So that's the equation of the 9 we are dealing with. And the question asks us to determine if the point 5 and 8 is on the 9. So all we have to do, again, this is x and y, yeah? So all we have to do is put in x here, perform the calculation. So let's go 3 times 5 minus 11. What is that?
4.
4, yeah? Clearly, 4 is not the y. 4 is not 8. Yeah, therefore we can make a conclusion. So we can say this point is not on the 9, y equals 3x minus 11. Does it make sense, everyone?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes.
So let's move on. Question 5. Question 5 says, I've got the quadratic equation like that. Can someone remind me the question again? What does the question say, question 5?
Find the range of values of k for which the expression x squared minus 2x plus 3 minus 2k is always positive.
Okay. What's the key word in that? So that is always positive. Always. So that's the key word, always positive. For a quadratic equation like that, always positive. That is always positive. Why that is always positive? Why that is always positive? Is that always positive?
No.
Why not?
No.
Excellent. Yeah. So that is always positive. So what do I know about that in terms of b squared minus 4ac? Again, back to term 1. What do I know about that? B squared minus 4ac.
Oh, if it's negative, if it's equal to 0, and if it's positive, it's like n.
Excellent. So that it should be smaller than 0.
Right.
So when that is smaller than 0, there's no intersection to the x-axis. Yeah. So just do a quick revision there. Those 3 things you guys need to be familiar with. If not, go back to revise those 3 things. Okay. So we are focusing on b squared minus 4ac. What's b in here? What's b in there? What's abc, by the way? What's abc in that equation? What's a?
X squared.
What's a? 1, excellent. Whatever before x squared. 1, we don't write it. What's b?
2.
What's b?
Negative.
Negative 2. What's c?
1.
What's c?
3 minus 2k.
That's c.
Yep.
That's b. A is 1. Alright, that's the first thing you're gonna identify. Then we go b squared minus 4ac. So b squared minus 4ac. So in exam, you're gonna do that substitution. Then you just simplify, evaluate, we get 4 minus 12. 12 what? What's the next step?
Minus 8k.
No, positive 8k.
Positive 8k. 4 times 2. Yup. So not sure about that, go back to revise. Smaller than 0. Minus 8 plus 8k is smaller than 0. 8k is smaller than
8.
8. K is smaller than 1. Then you finish. Any questions there?
So have we answered the question?
So that you have to answer the question. You always say when k is smaller than 1, that quadratic is always positive. Now for here, we finish here, then you have answered the question. Yes.
I did it a different way, so it's like saying, because, okay, whatever b value is,
Yeah.
since the parabola is going to be positive, it's always going to be arching up. So that means it would only be like determined by c being positive. Because which determines means like the origin of which like the turning point is going to be above the x-axis.
Mm-hmm.
So wouldn't it be like greater than 3/2, since 3/2 times k, well, times 2.
Where does 3/2
equals
come from?
3.
The 3/2k.
Because 2 times 3/2, which is 3/2 equals k, equals like 3. And 3 minus 3 is 0, which determines it's like turning point. So if it's anything greater than 3/2, it would equal the turning point. Which
Did you do?
no, I didn't use it.
Yeah, they like as far as the marking goes, they want you to show that approach because that will determine how many roots you have.
But okay, for example, when you sub into k, well, for example, what's an example?
Can I?
5